Howdy y'all, my name is Outlaw, and in today's video we will be responding to a Gravel Institute video, and the title of it is What the Monopoly Man Won't Tell You. And for those who might not know, it's on basically the Monopoly game, the one that we all know and love. But before we get into that video, please give this video a like, subscribe, share it, comment down below and tell me what your thoughts are. And of course, if you really like my content, please consider donating to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi or buy something from my merch store. Now, another bonus thing is, if you guys don't already know, I am a benefits counselor in which I help businesses with their benefits for their employees. So if you own a business or know a family member or a friend who owns one and are looking to bring in some benefits for their employees at no cost to their business, please go ahead and contact me on Twitter or Discord or in the comments down below. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get on with the video.
Did you know that Monopoly was designed to teach people about the evils of capitalism?
Oh yeah, such evils in which it gives me so many different varieties of food, cars, entertainment. Oh, so evil. I mean, we got phones because of capitalism, we got TVs because of capitalism. I mean, we even got air conditioning and, heating, such awful things because of capitalism. Yeah, such awful things because of evil capitalism.
Left-wing activist Lizzie Magie patented the Landlords Game in 1904. It had two sets of rules: the monopolist rules, which worked like the game we know today, and the prosperity rules, where every player got a piece of money from rent, not just the person who owns it. The point was...
Oh, brother. And that's, I'm assuming, is supposed to be an example of socialism, which doesn't actually work in practice. For one, that just sounds like a boring game. Like, that's just not what kids would want to play. I'm pretty sure of that. That's just retarded in so many levels. For example, let me give you the purest form of socialism or Marxism or communism, whatever you want to call it, or democratic socialism, even if you want to call it that. The most pure form of that example would be the Pilgrims. And you know what happened to them? They nearly starved to death. Did you hear me? They nearly starved to death because they distributed everything equally. Everyone got the same amount of food, no matter how much work they put in. And so the people who decided later on, oh, I'm just getting as much food as the next guy. Why should I work so hard? Because this lazy Bo Joe is working only half as hard as I am. Well, I'm going to work less and just, take the food that I'm already going to get. And so over time, that led to basically less and less food being produced. So people did not have as much food to distribute and basically made it so that everyone pretty much almost starved to death. So even your best example of the most pure form of socialism or democratic socialism or communism or Marxism, whatever you want to call it, failed. Absolutely failed. Because you cannot distribute everything equally, because that just works against human nature.
To play both versions to learn how all members of society could prosper with a more equal system, instead of one greedy person hoarding all the wealth and leaving everyone else bankrupt. Parker Brothers bought
Except the idea of the Monopoly game and, its showing of basically how Monopoly is supposed to be, that's not really how, monopolies even work. Or capitalism. For starters, what the Monopoly game does is saying that it's a fixed pie. Well, that's the fixed pie fallacy. In fact, capitalism actually creates greater wealth because it creates new products, services, all these different things, and new technologies because there's an incentive to get money. For example, let's just go with phones. We first started with, huge bricks. Then we got into smaller phones, which, a lot easier to carry. Then we got smartphones. That's just what capitalism does. It brings down the cost of things and creates more wealth, more prosperity for everyone. Without it, you get less prosperity, less growth, less improvements, if any.
Maggie's patent for just $500. Maggie hoped they'd spread her anti-capitalist message.
You mean propaganda anti-capitalist message? Because it was just propaganda.
Instead, they spread only the monopolist message that stockpiling money is somehow a good thing.
I don't think that's really what they necessarily were meaning by that, because quite frankly, if anything, that is technically an anti-capitalist message, because you got half of that, you just didn't get the socialist part. So if anything, you guys should be happy with that idea. They gave half of the message, the anti-capitalist part. They just didn't give the pro-socialism part. Now, I don't hate Monopoly. I think it can be a fun game. I don't care if it's technically incorrect on how capitalism actually works. It's still fun. But again, do monopolies work how they are in the Monopoly game? No. No, they do not. Monopolies work to charge the highest price possible by pushing out the competition. Well, they don't charge the highest price possible to push out the competition. What they do is they push out the competition or buy up the competition, in which that allows them to charge the highest prices possible. And of course, that creates problems in which those monopolies don't, change. They don't improve their services or their technology or products, whatever it be. That's the problem with monopolies. Now, there are a few different kinds. There's, monopolies that are made either through buying up or because the government makes them, whether intentionally or unintentionally.
So the next time you hand over your remaining Monopoly bucks to your buddy with a hotel on Park Place, remember, capitalist greed only helps the few on top and leaves everyone else behind.
And there's the bold-faced lie. Capitalism does not just leave only a few wealthy people and everyone else in poverty. Capitalism, although it does make quite a few people wealthy, or a few people wealthy, it makes everyone get richer. Everyone has more money. It brings people out of poverty. Poverty has reduced the most under capitalist systems or under capital-ish systems. For example, communist China with its somewhat capitalist systems it's put in place. Now, China is not capitalist by any means of the word. However, it has some capitalist systems that brought many people out of poverty in China. Anyways, to end this, capitalism works, socialism kills, and if you really like my content, please go follow me, subscribe, and if you really, really like my content, please consider donating to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi, or buy something from my merch store. Do all this, and I'll see y'all later.